Have you ever looked at those folks who make it past 100, still smiling, still sharp, still full of life, and wondered, what's their secret? Maybe you've caught yourself thinking, I'd love to stick around that long, but I'm not sure I've got what it takes. Well, here's the good news. You don't need a magic potion or a time machine to outlive your peers. It's not about luck or some mysterious gene only a few people are born with. It's about small, everyday choices. Things you can start doing right now, no matter if you're 60, 70, or even 85. I've spent time digging into what the oldest, healthiest people on the planet do differently, and trust me, it's simpler than you might think. Today we're going to walk through 5 secrets that centenarians, those amazing folks who've hit triple digits, swear by. These aren't complicated tricks or expensive gimmicks. They're practical habits you can weave into your life to feel stronger, sharper, and happier year after year. Imagine waking up each day with a little more pep in your step, knowing you're stacking the odds in your favor to live longer than you ever thought possible. That's what this is all about, giving you the tools to thrive, not just survive, as the years roll on. So grab a cup of tea, get comfy, and let's dive into the first secret these long-lived folks can't stop raving about. Now picture this. You're sitting on your porch, watching the world go by, and you realize you've still got energy to spare. That's not a fantasy. It's what happens when you make movement a part of your day, every day. The first secret centenarians swear by is staying active, but not in the way you might think. We're not talking about running marathons or lifting weights like a bodybuilder. For these folks, it's about gentle, consistent motion. Things like walking to the mailbox, tending a little garden, or even just stretching while you watch TV. I heard about a 102-year-old woman from Italy who still sweeps her front steps every morning. She says it's not about the exercise, it's about keeping her body awake, and science backs her up. Studies show that even 20 minutes of light movement a day can cut your risk of heart trouble, keep your joints limber, and help you sleep better at night. Here's the best part. You don't need a gym membership or fancy gear. Start small. Maybe take a stroll around the block after dinner. If that feels good, add a little dance break when your favorite song comes on. My neighbor, Ed, who's pushing 78, swears by his chair squats. He stands up and sits back down 10 times every time he gets up from the couch. He laughs and says it's his secret weapon against feeling old. The key is to make it a habit, something you enjoy so it doesn't feel like a chore. Before you know it, you'll be the one outpacing your grandkids at the park, and that's a feeling worth chasing. But it's not just about moving your body, it's about feeding it right too. That brings us to the second secret, and I'll bet you've heard this one before. Eat real food, not too much, and mostly plants. Sounds simple, right? But centenarians don't just say it, they live it. Take a 101-year-old man from Japan I read about. His daily plate is piled with veggies from his garden, a little fish and a scoop of rice. Nothing processed, nothing fancy. He's been eating that way for decades, and he's still out there fishing with his buddies. Over in Sardinia, where people live longer than almost anywhere else. They sip on hearty vegetable soups and nibble on nuts instead of reaching for chips or cookies. It's not about starving yourself or following some strict diet that leaves you miserable. It's about enjoying what's fresh and natural, the stuff your body actually knows what to do with. So, how do you make this work for you? Start by swapping out one processed snack for something real. Maybe trade that bag of crackers for a handful of almonds or a juicy apple. If you're not a big veggie fan, try tossing some spinach into a smoothie with a banana. It's sneaky, but it works. I started doing this a while back, and I swear I feel lighter, like my body's saying, thanks for the upgrade. The trick is to keep it simple and tasty. Roast some carrots with a drizzle of honey or chop up a tomato with a sprinkle of salt. You don't have to overhaul everything overnight. Just nudge your meals a little closer to what grows in the ground, and your body will thank you with more energy, better digestion, and maybe even a few extra years. Now that we've got movement and good food in your toolbox, let's talk about something a little less obvious but just as powerful: how you connect with the people around you. Centenarians don't live in a bubble. They've got this knack for building strong, meaningful ties that keep them going, and that's where we're headed next. Think about the last time you had a good laugh with someone you care about, maybe over a cup of coffee or a silly story from way back when. That feeling, that connection, isn't just nice to have. It's a lifeline. The third secret centenarians swear by is staying close to people who lift you up. It's not about having a huge crowd around you all the time. These folks aren't throwing big parties every weekend. It's more about quality than quantity. Having a handful of people you can count on, whether it's family, old friends, or even a neighbor who checks in now and then. I came across a story about a 104-year-old woman from Greece who still sits on her porch every afternoon chatting with whoever passes by. She says it's the conversations, the little hellos, that keep her heart young, and she's on to something. Research shows that strong social ties can lower stress, boost your immune system, and even add years to your life. Now I know what you might be thinking. Easier said than done, right? What if my kids are busy or my friends aren't around anymore? It doesn't have to be complicated. Start small, pick up the phone and call someone you haven't talked to in a while just to say hi, or invite a neighbor over for tea. My friend Margaret, who's 72, started a little walking group with 2 ladies from her street. They shuffle along, gossip a bit, and come back giggling like schoolgirls. She says it's the highlight of her week. You don't need to overhaul your social life. Just find 1 or 2 people who make you feel good and make time for them. Even a quick chat can work wonders, like a shot of sunshine for your soul. Before long, you'll notice you're smiling more, and that's a sign you're on the right track. But it's not just about who you're with, it's about how you handle what's going on inside too. That brings us to the 4th secret, and this one's a game changer. Centenarians don't let stress run the show. They've got this quiet strength, a way of letting things roll off their backs that keeps them steady no matter what life throws at them. I read about a 100-year-old guy from Oklahoma who lived through the Great Depression, wars, you name it, and he still shrugs and says, worrying never fixed a thing. Over in Okinawa, where people live forever and a day, they've got this saying, don't hold on to the hard stuff, let it go like the wind. It's not that they never feel stressed. They're human, just like us. But they've figured out how to keep it from sticking around too long. So how do you do that when the bills pile up or your knees ache more than usual? It's about finding what calms you down and making it a habit. For some, it's taking a few deep breaths. Try it with me right now. Inhale slow through your nose. Hold it for a second, then let it out through your mouth. Feel that little release? That's your body saying thanks. Others swear by a quiet moment with a cup of tea or a walk in the backyard. My Uncle Joe, who's 81, sits on his rocking chair every evening and just watches the birds. No phone, no fuss, just him and the sparrows. He says it's like hitting a reset button. You don't need to be a Zen master, just pick something that quiets your mind and do it regularly. Maybe it's humming a tune or patting your dog. Whatever it is, give yourself that gift, because less stress means more energy for the good stuff, like enjoying the years you've got left. Now that we've talked about keeping your heart full and your mind calm, let's shift gears to something you might not expect. How a little curiosity can keep you going strong. That's where we're headed next. Ever notice how kids are always asking why or poking around just to see what happens? There's something magic in that curiosity, and it turns out centenarians haven't let go of it. The 5th secret they swear by is keeping a spark of wonder alive. Staying curious, learning something new, or finding little joys in the everyday. It's not about going back to school or becoming an expert in rocket science. It's simpler than that. I heard about a 103-year-old woman from California who started painting flowers a few years back, not because she's good at it, but because she wanted to see what colors could do. She giggles and says it's like playing again. Over in Italy, there's a 99-year-old man who listens to the radio every day, picking up bits about the world he never knew. These folks aren't chasing degrees, they're chasing that feeling of, that's neat, and it keeps their minds buzzing and their spirits bright. You might be wondering, what's that got to do with living longer? Well, it's like fuel for your brain. Studies say that when you keep learning, whether it's a new recipe, a card game, or even how to use that smartphone your grandkids keep nagging you about, it builds new connections up there, keeping you sharp and engaged. Plus, it's fun. Think about something you've always wanted to try. Maybe it's growing a few herbs on your windowsill. Start with basil, it's easy and smells amazing. Or pick up a book about something random like how birds migrate or what the moon's really made of. My friend Clara, who's 76, decided to learn the ukulele last year. She's terrible at it, but she laughs every time she strums a wonky chord, and that joy lights her up. You don't have to be good. Just be curious and let it pull you forward. So, as we've walked through all this, it's pretty clear these centenarians aren't superheroes with some secret potion. They move a little every day, whether it's a stroll or a stretch, because it keeps their bodies humming. They eat what's real. Veggies, nuts, a bit of fish, nothing fancy, just stuff that fuels them right. They hold tight to the people who matter, those little chats and shared laughs that warm the heart. They don't let stress hang around too long, finding ways to breathe it out or sit with it quietly. And they never stop wondering, tinkering with something new just because it feels good. These aren't big, scary changes. They're small shifts you can start today, tomorrow, whenever you're ready. Imagine how good it'll feel to wake up with a bit more zip, knowing you're building a life that could carry you past 100. I'd love to hear what you think about all this. Have you got a trick that keeps you going strong? Maybe a favorite walk or a dish you swear by? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one, and it's so inspiring to hear from you. If this struck a chord, give the video a thumbs up. It helps more folks like us find it. And hit that subscribe button if you want more ideas to live your best life, because we've got plenty more coming your way. You're not just getting older, you're getting better, and that's something worth celebrating. Small steps can take you a long way, and I'm cheering you on every bit of it. Here's to thriving, laughing, and sticking around for as long as you darn well please, because you've got this and you deserve it.